there, my name is Jesse Lee. I'm the CEO of Brooklyn Solutions, and I'm going to show you how Brooklyn handles some innovation projects, workflow, tracking, pulling in innovation ideas. All right. So information data comes into Brooklyn many different ways, plenty of ways, right? APIs through supplier review meetings, through data bulk upload manual. How does innovation usually come in? Well, really three ways. Usually we're going to be meeting on the regular with a supplier and ask them to, and they will bring in innovative ideas if we're in an SRM relationship. Or we might send out a survey, or maybe organically, they may surprise us with some good ideas. So what we're going to do today, we're going to issue a survey, see what that looks like when it comes in. We're going to, just to show the capability of workflow. You don't need to do this, but if you want to assess these things in a regular way and get some repeated rigor and process around this, you certainly can. We're going to look at what that looks like. And if that passes muster, we'll kick off a project. We've got an innovation project, which we can track. Now let's look at that template. So just so you understand what you're going to be seeing in a moment there. What this is it's just lightweight workflow. We're going to do an initial screening. Let's do a preliminary assessment. If we like it, let's look at it technically and financially, get the stakeholders and sponsors together, executive go, no go. And if we like it, we got a project. And if we don't, no thanks, right? So we'll see what that workflow looks like. And let's take a look at the software. Now, just for variety, we're going to show you this as a sourcing manager, but let's look at this as our pal, Oswald Cobblepot, right? Oswald, there's his pick. He's a sourcing manager, and he can do a lot, but never too much. You always get to be Goldilocks in Brooklyn. You'll see enough, furl it or pull it back if it's too much, and you got that record level control that you need. So Oswald can create a few things. He can get it some reasonable kinds of information, orgs, contracts, people, etc. Do some reasonable activities, which we'll look at in this video around projects, investing in them, and innovation. He can do a little bit of BI, and he can monitor some stuff. So what does he do? All right, we said we were going to do this one by running a survey and calling for supplier innovation. So here we go. Brooklyn's got a warehouse of surveys ready to ingest yours and reflect them back. Let's go ahead and look at this innovation survey. All right, so click on this. Now, Brooklyn is a very capable survey builder. You can build anything you really like. As you save them and change them, the versioning is always protected. And let's go ahead and look at what this looks like. So if I were to receive this survey, I would get a very proper looking survey. It might grow dynamically depending on my answers. It might kick off other work or other things depending on my config ahead of time of the answers. But this is asking me, are you willing to change? Are you open? Are you not open? Do you have anything we could do better? Any great ideas you have? Do you have any initiatives for us? Describe them and give us some files. Okay. So let's say that latest version has gone out a couple times, and we'll go ahead and look at one of the answers that has come back. And the supplier bakery, they're called, to help my business. My business is one of making like pet supplies and pet food, and bakery helps me make that food in my story. So yes, I'm open, and Oswald says, oh, look, that response was met. Oswald filled this in. He can put in commentary. Oh, what's this? We cracked the code to make irresistibly delicious dog food. It would mean some changes in how you operate. Let's discuss. And here's Oswald. Well, that sounds interesting. Now he can send that right back to the recipient. He can send this to other people internally, get some commentary. Whenever it's ready, we can move on. And what is this idea, right? If we were to take a look at this proposal, it's this, right? There's an innovation proposal. Let's make some irresistibly delicious dog food. Yum. All right, fantastic. We have to hear more. That's our business. It looks interesting. So in came the survey. This shows you how it came in and how commentary happens, and it can go back and forth. It's now time to assess whether we're going to do anything about it. And for that one, we run a little flow. That was that flow in black called the project investment decision. And so in fact, yes, here's one for bakery. Oswald has kicked this off, and he said there is some tasty pet food innovation right here. we need to decide if this is something that we're going to do something about. And so I showed you a little workflow with several steps, right? We had the black, we're going to preliminary, go through tech finance, get final sponsor approval. That's what you got here. So here's a summary of the idea, right? We cracked the code on their delicious food. Okay, good. Business case, budget, actions, files, the presentation is going to be in there. And then let's look at the steps. Okay, so that's enough for Oswald. This is enough for assessing a project. And so this is workflow in Brooklyn. We're just going to march through the steps. We're going to capture that idea. We've already done it. We've got the file in here. We're reviewing it, right? We'll always be able to see who's responsible for doing this by role. How long do you have? What workflow state and stage are we in? And run through workflow this way. So if we leap ahead, let's say it's went through, great, detail, the text, people like it, finance likes it, the executive, right, the sponsor gets this job, they have to say go, no go. And when they're done, it's going to be approved if they liked it, or rejected, they could pick. And say we got a project. So, okay, it's gone through the steps. That was the middle of the activity diagram, supported by workflow, always reportable against bakery.org. And we want to go ahead and track this as an innovation project. So this project already has been kicked off, and I'm still a sourcing manager. And now when I want to track innovation projects in flight, and this is the right of that activity diagram I showed earlier, this is describing the project. And here's some good Prince 2 model signposts, right? There should be a business case, planning in progress. How are we doing? Are we on budget? Are we governing this? And then actions that came out of it, risks, files that came along, of course, the presentation, etc. The money, the business case. Here's a timeline, right? We've got the timeline borrowed from the grander project plan managed elsewhere. And it just is the goals and aspirations and how's it going. So, and again, as everything, thoroughly configurable, but this is a good, reasonable overlay over top of the project for a sourcing manager whose job is to pull in innovation. Someone in the supply chain world who's looking after supplier-driven innovation. They just want to see how's it going, right? Brooklyn has KPIs in all the forms, SLAs, OLAs, call them XLAs, key risk indicators, key control indicators. One place where you can see this top down is MI Analytics. And so Oswald, this is one of the 6 things, lucky Oswald, that he can see as a sourcing manager in terms of BI. So he gets to see a lot of contracts and things are going on. And then for this project, from the bakery org, there is this, tasty, irresistible dog food thing. And then these are project metrics. Came in a couple months worth. We've got the budget variance, cycle time, how's the resourcing on the project, how soon do we get stuff, which is what we mean by schedule performance index. And we've got some fails and some passes. And in Brooklyn, all this MI, you can always drill in and get the full explanation. So this is against this reported in MI, management information, the details. Here's that schedule performance index, project metric. I take off the filter. These are those rows that you just saw there. And it looks like, as you saw, we had 6 passes and 2 not passes. So problem with budget variance, problem with that schedule performance index that I clicked in on. So any explanation further, easy to capture right here. All right, so innovation projects called for with a survey, got ideas, got all the files, ran through a rigorous process for assessing that thing to see if it's worth it, which Oswald got to drive. And then the answer was yes, and we decided, okay, we'll kick off a project, and we're going to just track it through, because Oswald, or maybe other SRMs or supply chain managers have the relationship, but on this common platform, we can be tracking from beginning all the way through and have all the information and context. And that is a look at how innovation can get done on the Brooklyn platform. For more information about the Brooklyn solution or for a personalized demo, please register your interest on the website or, of course, reach out to our team. And be sure to follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn.